This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Rule. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping the news, reaction is coming into the resignation of businessman Ian Fair from the post of chairman of the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Tonight, a former president of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce is examining this latest resignation and what it could mean for Grand Bahama. Megan Shepard reports.
Member of Parliament and former president of the Chamber of Commerce Gregory Moss says the resignation of Ian Fair from the Grand Bahama Port Authority now provides the opportunity for a Bahamian to take over that role. He says he believes that a Port Authority needs a change and that this is the time to wind down the offerings of the Port Authority to Freeport.
The public should remember about a few months ago, this feels like about 4 months ago, he made a very public statement that he would not be leaving the Port Authority. And so that, of course, raises some concerns as to what has happened. But my main point to it is that it provides an incredible opportunity for the government of the Bahamas, government of the day, to live up to its stated mandate of putting Bahamians first. And I look forward to seeing the caliber of chairman, preferably a Bahamian chairman, that is going to be brought in to run the chairmanship of the Grand Bahama Port Authority Limited.
Fair is the fourth president to resign from the post within 8 years. He followed Austrian native Hannes Babak and Bahamian businessman Felix Stubbs and Julian Francis. Moss says he believes there are capable Bahamians that should fill the spot. He says now is the time to rise to the level of making Freeport better for its residents.
We need and we have the resources in this country to put persons with skill sets, with the connection with the people, with the understanding of our social structures, and with imagination to recreate what needs to be done in the city of Freeport, so much so that we don't need to be looking elsewhere to do it. And I would personally consider it a slap in the face to see this government enlist or allow anyone other than the Bahamian to occupy that position again, bearing in mind that that's a paid position which will require a work permit for it to be occupied.
Now, Fair stated that he chose to resign because he felt that he had accomplished his mission at the post and that any future role would require a more hands-on approach, which he cannot commit to at this time. But former Chamber of Commerce President Moss says there has been no major change on the island while Fair served as chairman.
I know very little of Mr. Ian Fair, other than that he's a very accomplished businessman outside of the city of Freeport. I don't know what he has done as a chairman of the Port Authority during his tenure here, and I don't say that for good or for ill, I simply don't know. But I can say this, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. And Freeport is no better off today than it was when his chairmanship started, and in fact Freeport is no better off today than it was in 2012. That may seem indelicate and impolitic, but it is the truth, and I have too many constituents starving, too many people out of work, too much going on to be diplomatic about these statements.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Well, former Chairman Ian Fair, during a telephone interview yesterday, said that he is satisfied that he made a difference during his 18-month stint at the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Fair says the Port Authority is certainly a more modern entity with a strong corporate governance structure, and its promotion and marketing arm has been strengthened. He says when it comes to attracting investments, that will materialize over time.
You only have to look at my speech at Freeport Business Outlook, Grand Bahama Business Outlook, to see that there's a good amount of business in the pipeline. I mean, the container port has been hiring, the shipyard's been hiring. They're both a lot more profitable than they were. They've taken on more people, and there's also there's a lot better news out there. The economy is a lot more stable. Is there room for improvement? God, yes. I mean, we're in the nascent stages of the recovery.
Now, Fair's resignation took effect yesterday, and Port Authority officials say there are no immediate plans to fill that post. The former chairman was asked if the absence of a chairman could impact the progress of Freeport.
I think for a period of time, bearing in mind that the two shareholders are very hands-on in their approach to the company, it can. I mean, long term, it's going to be for the board to determine, whether they need a chairman. I mean, most organisations do need a chairman. The answer is yes. But I mean, is it a desperate thing to fulfil tomorrow? Well, the worst thing to do would be a knee-jerk reaction and fill it for the sake of it. I mean, it took them quite a long time to decide on me.
Now, nonetheless, Ian Ferris says he has confidence in Freeport and believes there's room for growth once the economy turns around. In other news, a school designed to deal with students with behavioral issues now has a new principal. Tonight, he speaks passionately about how he plans to revolutionize the school with the help of the community.
The community at large hears about Program Sure, and the only thing they can tell me is this is where we send the boys, the bad boys, really.
But that's the image Program Shore's new principal, Ricardo Major, is excited about turning around. Major transferred as senior master from St. George's and is looking forward to working with the behaviorally challenged students.
But I want them, the people that have the technical skills that the community needs, the electronics, the carpentry, the plumbing. I want to get persons like that are able to volunteer time. We need art persons just to come in an hour a day to be able to assist us. I also have a program that I want to start, bring on stream, and that is to be able to assist with the students that are suspended, that are put out of our regular school system, that are suspended for a week or two, that we can set up programs and partner with churches and, like I said, just all the business organizations that are able to say, Mr. Major, I'm able to take this child for one day, I'm able to take them for 2 days, just to keep them off the street, but to give them also some hope and some direction.
He says the positive development of these students can only be a benefit to the community.
With the crime rate of our country and even a lot of the young men that are not finishing high school, I am driven with a passion that's trying to see how we can intervene, even if it calls for these young men only learning a technical skill by the time they finish high school to be able to go into the community and be able to be a benefit to the community. That's why I'm calling community-minded persons to come in. We've got an agriculture program that we can expand and do hydroponics. So I'm hoping that I hear from all the farmers in Grand Bahama that say, Mr. Major, I want to be on board with this so that I can help this young man if at the end of the day he can come out and be able to start his own farm, to be able to make a living.
Program Shore is an intervention institution designed for students with chronic behavioral problems, but Major is of the view that the community must become more involved in directing the path of these students.
Program Shore is a place where we are working to intervene in the challenges that these young people are having staying in the normal school as we know it, and they're coming here so that we can intervene in their behavior and all the other things by adding, giving counseling, extra counseling, and also some of the other programs that we hope to have going here. And I think that the positive things that Program Shore is about is not what the community is saying. I think the only thing they're thinking is this is where we send the bad boys.
The principal is asking the community to partner with the school to positively impact the lives of these young men and women. And now this announcement. On Monday, August 12, 2013, the Bahamas Tonight ZNS News Northern Edition aired a press conference held by Reverend Glenroy Bethel, president of Families for Justice organization, in which Reverend Bethel called for Kalina employees to be arrested and charged for crimes allegedly committed by them. The corporation is satisfied that there was a matter involving Reverend Bethel and Kalina Insurance Company in which judgment was given in favor of Kalina Insurance Company against Reverend Bethel and regrets airing the press conference. We apologize for any inconvenience caused. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition continues right after this.